Thank you for listening to Depictions Media Radio. Welcome to Policy and Rights, the show about human rights and government policy. Welcome back, everyone. On June 20th in Malton, Ontario, a wellness check was initiated by the Ontario Police to check on Ejaz Chaundry. The wellness check was initiated by family. They just wanted to make sure that their family member, their loved one, was doing okay. They hadn't heard from him in a little bit. When the police showed up, they crashed open the door and shots were fired and Mr. Chaudhry was killed. It's caused outrage across Canada. And in one reaction, there was a prayer visual at the Al Jamia Mosque in Vancouver, in joint with the Coalition Against Bigotry on the Pacific Coast. They had a prayer in solidarity. This visual was put together so that everyone could hear in what actually happened, to bring awareness to this. So we were invited to that day's prayer at the mosque live, and you're about to hear what the imam had to say, and you're about to hear what two other people had to say from the Coalition Against Bigotry. And you'll hear what they had to say to the prayers to the people praying in the mosque as a public announcement, and you also hear at the end what their thoughts on what is actually going on with violence with the police versus justice, and what may need to have happen in our communities. So let's listen in close, and here we go.
My dear respected brothers, elders and sisters, Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this blessed opportunity to pray in His blessed house on this blessed day. And there can be nothing better than that. However, we are living in unique times, challenging times. We need to remind ourselves what our goal is in life and how we should go about in these challenging times. And a lot of people, they feel stress, anxiety and stress that what is happening. But those people who are aware with our deen and even the history of mankind, these tests and these situations come and they will go. And the way of the Prophet ﷺ is, he always gave hope. He always gave optimism, because in our deen especially, there is no place for hopelessness, to give up and to be sad. Because the Prophet ﷺ said every situation for the Muslim is good. It doesn't matter what it is. We have to be hopeful, we have to be happy. We have to learn how to make the most of these opportunities. And we have opportunities today in these situations as well. And the Prophet ﷺ, his order was, Bashiru, wala tunaffiru, wa yassiru, wala tu'assiru. Give good glad tidings, give happy news, give optimism. He gave direct orders to all his governors. Mu'adh bin Jabal, when you go to Yemen, what should you do? How be easy with the people. Give them good glad tidings and give them optimism. This is what our deen is about. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the most forgiving. But He puts us in this test وَجَعَلْنَا بَعْضَكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ فِتْنَةً. He goes, I will test you with one another. I will test you with good times, see what you do. I will test you with difficult times, what you do. These are tests, my brother, of different colors, of different shades, in different times. So what can we do? Very simply and very short. Number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. Number one is turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and repent and do istighfar. So all the time we do not know what things we do wrong, what sins we commit. Sometimes it is in our conscience what we do, sometimes it is not in our conscience what we do. But this remedy of doing istighfar is a remedy which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves. And Nuh alayhi salam, he told his people, do istighfar, repent, go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what will Allah ta'ala do? يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا. The situation is, you have droughts, you have famines, you have calamities, you have pandemics. Turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do istighfar. يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ. He will let the rivers flow. وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ. He will increase your families in size. He will give you health. Your family size cannot increase without health. And He will give you lots of wealth. Number two, that we need to do tawbah and turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At all times, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves in Allah yuhibbu tawwabin. He loves the people who do tawbah. Number two, my brothers, is that increase of sadaqah, increase of charity. And the Prophet ﷺ, he told us Allah Ta'ala loves sadaqah. And sadaqah, giving charity, is a guaranteeing your life and your safety and your security. We do not put much emphasis on sadaqah. But the Prophet ﷺ, he told us in one hadith, that on the day of judgment, the person, the thing he will regret the most is not giving sadaqah and charity. Because he will realize the effects and the benefits of sadaqah outweigh everything else. And the Prophet ﷺ, one of the benefits of sadaqah is sadaqatu تُطْفِعُ غَضَبَ الرَّبِّ وَتَدْفَعُ مِيتَةَ السُّوءِ. Please listen to this carefully. This is the words of the Prophet ﷺ. تُطْفِعُ غَضَبَ الرَّبِّ. It extinguishes the anger of your Lord. وَتَدْفَعُ مِيتَةَ السُّوءِ. And it will save you from a bad ending, like a drowning, or dying by fire, or sudden death. Sadaqah will save you. And number three, my brothers, for us individually and communities in general, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to uphold justice. كُونُوا قَوَّامِينَ بِالْقِسْطِ شُهَدَاءَ لِلَّهِ. Because we give a lot of priority and time to other things, ibadah, we should. But we do not give priority and emphasis which is due to justice. Justice in ourselves, justice in our family, in our community, in our nation. We abuse justice. We take advantage of situations. And sometimes in name of traditions of community and my tribe and my family honor, we put justice aside. And my brothers, justice upholds the safety and security of this world. Inna Allah ya'muru bil-'adl. The first word, Inna Allah ya'muru bil-'adl. Allah orders you to do justice. And when you don't do justice, there's upheaval in this world. The whole system crashes. We don't do justice to our poor people. How many millions of people have no food in Yemen and many parts of the world, and we go to sleep with our stomachs full? We're not doing justice to ourselves. When we don't wake up for Fajr prayer in the morning, we don't do justice. We are rebelling against the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah says, Hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah. And we're sleeping nicely and calmly in our bed. That is not justice. We have to establish justice in our lives, my brother. If you want safety and security, maintain justice. But these are just a few points. And because we have shortage of time, we want to finish the salah on time. And we have a few announcements Brother Harun would like to make.
Brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, we were here gathered praying Jummah. We were socially distanced and we're all going through this process that inshallah the things will come back to normal. But Alhamdulillah, we're here for the sake of Allah and Allah protect and guide us all inshallah during this time. My dear respected brothers and sisters, the purpose for my being here is twofold. We talked about justice. And what is justice in life, and what is justice in the hereafter. Recently, in Mississauga, a Muslim brother, 62 years old, suffering from dementia, suffering from schizophrenia, a wellness check was called. He was going through a violent episode. And the police attended. Now, for us, we have very good relations with our police department. They're the ones, their job, like many first responders, is to run towards danger while most people run away from it. That's their job. And that's a very great thing that they do. But in this case, an old man, mentally infirm, in distress, 9 policemen came. They hit him with rubber bullets. They tased him. He didn't go down and they shot him to death. This disproportionate use of force is an injustice against this family, against this person, against all people. So it's a very difficult thing. But I would like to ask Brother Etienne Spokit of the Coalition Against Bigotry to speak very briefly on this topic and what we can do as a community to rally for justice so that this kind of thing doesn't happen again, where a father or a loved one gets killed by police violence. And we've seen in the U.S. this George Floyd, of what happened to him, and the Black Lives Matter movement, and many movements, the Asian community being subjected to many things. There's a lot happening, and it's important that we utilize our voices to seek justice for all people, because if we don't seek justice for them, who will seek justice for us in our time of need? So, Brother Etienne.
Thank you, Brother Harun. Imam, thank you very much. Jummah Mubarak. I asked Brother Harun, we've been doing a lot of justice here in the masjid, first masjid in DC, and when Brother Ejaz Chaundry was murdered, I asked him that to do the first Jummah. After that, we can make dua for him and for Brother Kashif and other people who have died recently. Our coalition is doing a rally July 1st at the Independent Investigation Office in Surrey. This is the BC office that investigates police murder and violence. A similar event happened last year where another man from Burma was murdered by the RCMP in Coquitlam in his home, also struggling with mental health. Similar to Brother Ejaz Chaudhry. His family had a rally outside the IIO office in Surrey in February before the COVID. And the answer to them was they don't even know the name of the police officer that killed their brother. So they're doing an investigation. So things have to change. We've seen pictures of Mona Wang in Kelowna that was also with mental health. So please come at 1 o'clock at Surrey Central to demand for change and inquiry into police murder. Things have to change. We're going to march to the RCMP headquarters in the Green Timbers after that and have a picnic afterwards because it is Canada Day, but we want to mark it in a way that is respectful of people who have died and suffered. So thank you very much. We make dua for the people who have died of police violence, people who died because of COVID, and thank you for giving me this time.
Yeah, let's just go.
Yeah. Go ahead. He's taping.
So we're talking about justice for the here.
Yeah, I mean, in the largest scale of things, justice, maintaining justice, prevents in the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from pandemics and from other calamities. And I don't know, there's a special quotation from Winston Churchill when Britain was being attacked. and people thought that Britain would lose to Nazi Germany. He said, our courts, are they not giving out justice? Are we not maintaining justice? Are we not being just in our system? If we are doing that, we don't have to worry even about calamities, about wars and that. So in the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it doesn't matter if it's Islam or non-Islam, Muslim or non-Muslim. Maintaining justice, because Allah Ta'ala himself is just. His system is just. Allah says, Inna Allah la yazlimu mithqala dharratin, iota work, he does not do injustice. And he wants us to be just. يَكُونْ قَوَّامِينَ بِالْقِسْطِ. Be the ones who stand up for justice. وَلَوْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ, even if it's against yourself. Like for example, the situation, your parents have been unjust, or somebody in your own family or tribe has been unjust. Be on the right side of justice, do not be on the wrong side. So we have to stand up for justice. It doesn't matter what the color of the person is, what nationality they are, what they stand for. We have to be on the side of justice. And whoever is on the side of justice, he's on the right side. And history remembers him.
MashaAllah, it's wonderful, because here we are at the Al Jamia Masjid. Is the first masjid in British Columbia, and this has been a place of justice. The fact that this masjid was open and built is a point of justice. And when the shooting happened in Quebec, when 6 people were murdered, praying, people came here asking for justice, for praying for justice. And the place was full, overflowing.
We even had similarly when the incident happened in New Zealand, well over 1,000 people. So people come.
Yeah.
I think one thing that we talked about, police, we've hosted the police board here. So the first time in a masjid. So we've had them here. We have very good things of dialogue. This is where it's really important for us to engage, right? Just as individuals, as community organizations, as faith organizations, just say something, right? Like if you're silent, you're complicit. It's so silence will not help in this matter. In fact, it'll only make it worse. So we have to vote with our feet. We have to vote with our tongue, with our.
We live in a country which is mostly, strive for justice and vote for justice.
Yeah.
So we need to think of the system a little bit. Like the police, they have never been questioned and they have never been accountable.
Right.
So either reduce their powers, especially in cases where there's a mental case, person, when he has some mental disorder.
Yeah.
The police have to react differently and don't.
Like for one person, it's just absurd. So this is a problem. This is a real problem. So when you have that kind of thing, it's there, but also goes to the psychology of it. They're armed. They have tasers. They have this. They have all these arsenals at their disposal, and it affects you psychologically. So another thing is the training. They really have to understand training, the de-escalation, all those things, because they're there to serve and protect, and ultimately they report to us, the people.
Now, Imam, you were talking about Black Lives Matter, and I think the awakening, there's been a global awakening after George Floyd and Rachel Brooks comes out, that people are demanding change. And also here we're seeing with Ejaz Chaundry, with Mona Wing, and things that have happened before that have not been so public, such as Din, who was very similar to Ejaz Chaudhry. But so we have to inquire. The BC government has said they're going to make changes, but I think we need to have public involvement, right? Public involvement in change and what it's going to look
and this
like.
is where inquiries have to be put together, and we have a system. The system works if you let it.
Yeah.
And
so the family of
Chantal
Chantal Moore that was murdered, Indigenous woman, is calling for inquiry. The Chaudhry family is asking for an inquiry. So we must have an inquiry both across Canada and in British Columbia, so we can make police accountable.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And again, we heard mention about a movement called Black Lives Matters. This group in this movement has been around for a number of years, and it has been trying to cause awareness to the police violence, unrightful incarceration, and suppression of rights against people of color in the U.S. It includes Latinos, blacks. It includes native people. In Canada, it includes the same, including indigenous or First Nations people, as they call them in Canada, and the awareness is now reaching ahead. Groups of people have been saying that we're being oppressed, and we would like to see the oppression end, and some fairness and equality in treatment under the law, as well as socially. So we're seeing a lot of things coming ahead, and the Coalition Against Bigotry in Surrey, BC, is going to have a visual and a march again in Central Surrey, near the City Hall and Library, and they're going to march on. Have a march around Central Surrey to cause awareness to what is going on, and try to, as a community, get us to come together as a community so that we can help cause equality and end bigotry. So with that, I will leave you for today, and we'll hope to talk to you later on. Bye for now. We'd like to thank Meatfox of meatfox.com for providing us with communication tools so that we can record all of our interviews. This show has been produced by Depictions Media. Please contact us at depictions.media for more information.